Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hotel Orloff, coming to you with music and fun, and if you're not careful, you may learn something before it's done. So, with no further ado, let's head on upstairs and see what's on the slab. We've got lots of comic books up there and pop culture memories, so let's head on up there. See, I've got to get this show done pretty quickly because David Wilcock's coming on live here. I don't know, 1 o'clock maybe? Okay, so, all right, get my bottle of my water. This comes from a spring. How about that? Okay. Man, it's hot in here. Is that fan going? Oh, man. All right. Well, we're back. Got my trusty magnifying glass. Okay. One moment.
There's a heavy load of cattle gotta get there by day. There's a floodlight working overtime, keeping rustlers well away. The storms and winds of winter made them almost overused. It was rough, but nothing tougher.
All right. Okay. What is this? Oh my gosh. Your green choice in education. She doesn't look green. What is this? Green apple. Oh, anyway, nonsense. Junk mail. Okay. Oh, there's some cool magazines in here, man. Okay, it says Star Wars era mags on the box lid. But some of these are not Star Wars era. Look at this. This magazine's called Gab, Garage and Beat, number 6. It says Instro, Retro, Mondo, Retardo. Man, I don't know this band, the Dukes of Hamburg. This has got to be from the 90s, I would guess, yes. And this exactly, maybe not. If it's from the 90s, it's the late 90s. But it's lots of articles about 1960s music and bands that are new bands that echo the sounds of like the Boss Martians, and here's a band that's like half Ramones, half Ventures. It's a girl band. I need to. Yeah. So how do I find the year on this darn thing? got to be mid-90s. Phantom Surfers, yeah. Lots of stuff about the Monks. They were a band, it was an American band from Germany, because I think they were guys in the service that were stationed in Germany, and they in the 60's, and then they got out of the army but stayed in Germany and formed a band. And they were called the Monks. And I don't know if you can tell that there's a shaved circle in the top of their. It was the Beatles already had the mop top thing, so they decided they would shave a hole on the top of their head like a monk. See, there's one of the Monks there with Bill Haley. See how he's got that. That is not a hairstyle that took off. But then the Monks weren't hugely popular, but they were in the 90's. People rediscovered the 60's band in the 90's, and it was. I remember Joe Riley, who worked. Where's my water? Joe Riley, the hypnotic guy. When I was working on that show with him, he was always talking about the Monks. He put some clips of the Monks on the hypnotic guy. I had a bottle of water. Did you hear my knees cracking when I stood up? Isn't that amazing? I don't know where. I don't have any idea. So far, these do not seem to be Star Wars era magazines. Here's the Barsoomian. This is a fanzine, and since the art is dated 1964, I'm thinking this is from 1964. See, it's typed on a typewriter, and it's mimeographed. There's an article on Tarzan and the Madman. See, that's how people did fanzines back in the 60's. Let's see, this is from October 64, Volume 2, Number 1. It's got a little, what does this say here? Important, except during Christmas, Easter, and summer vacations, please direct all correspondence to Paul C. Allen State University College at Genesec, Blake Hall, room 202, Geneseo, New York. It shows where you can send the packages, because this was being run by a college student out of his dorm room. So this thing's during vacation. You can't reach me there because I'll be back home with my parents. That's interesting, man. So David Core Jr. I wonder if this is interesting. Well, Edgar Rice Burroughs has always had his fans, all for well over 100 years. So this is a great artifact, a great thing. Love. Where's my water? If I was a bottle of spring water, where would I be? Did you see me put the water down? Not that you can tell me, because this isn't a live stream. Here's close up. In Memoriam Kong, the eighth wonder of the world. Oh, this is when the 70's remake, 1976 remake came out. And they've got stuff on the new Sinbad movie, which came out in 77. Yeah, stuff about Rankin Bass. Boy, that was disappointing when I went to see that King Kong movie. Ooh, but look at this great stuff you can sometimes find in these old fanzines. Look at this. This is from the 30's. It's showing people how King Kong was filmed. The thing is, when King Kong premiered around Christmas of 76, oh, my water's behind the camera. Okay, so it was about to be in theaters on Friday, right? So the local station, ABC station, Channel 8 in Dallas-Fort Worth area, decided they would run the original 1933 King Kong movie in prime time like on Tuesday or Wednesday, a few days before King Kong opened. And they just preempted the network shows that were probably garbage anyway, and played the original King Kong, which I watched, and it blew my mind how great it was. And so just having seen the original King Kong with the marvelous stop motion animation, then I go see that movie. My mom takes me to see the King Kong remake, and just seeing that there were no dinosaurs, and it was just a guy in a suit. It was Rick Baker. I love him, but it was just not what I wanted to see. Here's another article that's right out of a 1930s magazine that they've reproduced very well. In fact, this is a very high quality fanzine. It would be worth researching. This is number 3, and find if it's possible to get other issues of this. See, this is from a press book. Look at that King Kong. You could have it in Skyline. Look at that great 1930s font. Yeah, a lot of this is right. What is that exactly? Yeah, this has got great. Look at these ads from the time. Well, I mean, this is technically from the Star Wars era. The box lid said, this is a year, 6 months before Star Wars came out. Here's a magazine, Coming Attractions. It's got Star Wars there. Return of the Jedi's coming out. Oh, and look, Psycho 2 is coming out. This is promoting the new James Bond movie. Oh, Superman 3 was coming out. That was Superman 3 was pretty awful. The one with Richard Pryor, but there was a great portion where he goes back to Smallville and meets up with Lana Lang, who's played by Annette O'Toole, who was beautiful back then. I'm sure she's still beautiful, you know what I mean. I didn't like this Dr. Detroit movie, this Dan Aykroyd movie. I was not a fan of that movie. Okay. Here's a magazine. Here's a magazine you don't see very often. I don't know if this is coverless or if this was the cover. It's Confederate Veteran. This is a magazine for people that were veterans of the Civil War. It's just, yeah. And this is from 1924. So at that point, the war had been over. 64 years. So they had to at least be. They'd have to at least be about 80 if they were fighting at age 15, which was very possible. So the minimum age of a reader of this magazine would be about 80. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's an. Oh, okay. It must. Wait, there's another copy. I got these both at the same antique mall. This must be. Okay, that one was a coverless one. This is what it should look like. This is one. See, this has got. But this just looked like a fascinating historical thing to be buying for a couple of bucks at an antique mall. Just. But why it's in a box labeled Star Wars era magazines? This is a September 1928 issue. And it's got the name of the guy, R.H. Bailey. It's on upside down, the original owner of this magazine. Here's you'd have the regular TV guide, then you'd have the TV guide that would be in the newspaper, and that's what cheapskates would use, and it was usually printed on newsprint. But this is TV Dial from Fort Worth Press, from the week of June 7th through 13th. Well, we can find out when it's from here in a minute, but it's definitely from when Bonanza was on television, because there's Michael Landon. In the back, you've got a $497 was a huge amount of money for this new Zenith color television set. When they still had the rounded screens, tubes. Oh, Meyer Greenblatt's calling me. I'll call him later. This was a department store, Leonard's, that was in Fort Worth, and they had this little trolley train, and you would park in a remote place, and you'd get on this little train, and it would take you through a tunnel, and then you'd wind up in the Leonard's department store. But they tore down the Leonard's department store, and they built a giant, sleek 1970s mall called the Tandy Center. Tandy is the guy that invented Radio Shack. That was a Tandy store, and that was out of Fort Worth. They had Radio Shack, and then they had Tandy Crafts with leather, stuff made out of leather. But it was an ugly multi-story mall, but they still had this, so you could go through the tunnel. It just, instead of taking you to Leonard's, it would take you to the Tandy Center. And then they got rid of the Tandy Center, and then they were using it for the courthouse. So if you got called in for jury duty, you could park remotely and ride this thing into where the courthouse then was in downtown Fort Worth for your, and I was able to ride this, but I never went to Leonard's, because that's before my time. And the Tandy Center, it was nothing to write home about. But I went there, but that's what I remember that for. But anyway. It's from June 7th, 1964. So, this is not in good shape, man. This is what it looks like inside. Well, this is Friday night. No, that's Saturday night. Let's see what was Saturday night. Oh, they had the Big D Jamboree at 8:30. That was live from the Big D Jamboree. That's where you had rockabilly and stuff. See, 10:30, they always had wrestling at 10:30 on Channel 11, all through into the 70s when I was a kid. So, here's Saturday morning television in 1964. 7 o'clock a.m. on CBS, you had Captain Kangaroo, and 7:30, still Captain Kangaroo, Clutch Cargo on NBC, and Our Gang on ABC. Okay. 8 o'clock, The Alvin Show, and Tennessee Tuxedo. Clutch Cargo still on over at NBC. Cartoon Carnivals on Channel 11, Adventure Theater on 8. 9 o'clock, you have Quick Draw McGraw, Hector Heathcote Show, Deputy Dog at Saturday's Circus. 9:30, Mighty Mouse Fireball XL5, Magic Land of Alakazam at Saturday's Circus. 10 o'clock a.m., Lone Ranger, Dennis the Menace, the new Casper cartoon show. Of those, I would probably choose Lone Ranger or Casper. I didn't like the Dennis the Menace series, but I loved the comic panel in the newspaper from Hank Ketchum, and I loved the comic books, but I just never liked the live action show. Obedience, Cecil, Roy Rogers, Fury, Sky King, Bugs Bunny. Yeah, all right, wonderful. Friday should have Addams Family, huh? Addams Family, come on, Addams Family. Oh, let's see what's on after school. When you got home from school, 3:30, Leave It to Beaver, Make Room for Daddy, Popeye. Yeah, they always had Popeye around 3:34 everywhere across the United States. You got your Popeye and Friends. This has got Rocky and Friends at on Channel 11. Slam Bang Theater. Yeah, Slam Bang Theater had Icky Twerp, and they ran Three Stooges comedies and stuff. This is before I was born, 1964. Oh, come on, Addams Family. There's Alfred Hitchcock at 9. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought Addams Family was on maybe it's on Thursday. Let's see. Or wait, June 1964. This is before the Addams Family premiered. This is the summer of 64. Addams Family premiered in September of 64. So this is a few months before the Munsters and Addams Family. So I'm looking in vain for those things. Oh well. You know, I think that Kevin at Gotham City Comics had a book called Trash Fiend, and it must have been a collection of this magazine. Because I was thinking, wow, that's really cool what you've got there. But yeah, I bet that just collected all the issues of this. I only have one issue. This is the first issue. Look at it. It reproduces these covers of these Skywald magazines, Nightmare, Psycho. I always loved this one. I remember seeing that when I was a kid on the newsstand. Scream, scream, scream. This stuff makes me happy. I can't tell you how happy. Things to keep an eye out for, and that's the Tales from the Crypt skull from the Tales from the Crypt movie. This book, if you can find it, is great. It's about spook shows. I saw somebody that had a giant spook show banner that would have been put up in a movie theater, and I'm sure that cost thousands. And I was just thinking, why don't I make my own? If I could just get some canvas to unroll and I could paint spook show graphics on it, that might be a project I might embark on. We just need to get some snow, and we need to get snowed in for a few days, and maybe I'll embark on that. Blood of Ghastly Horror. Always love that ad too. Oh, look at this. Some magazines have different kinds of centerfolds. This one has Asylum of Satan. Okay. What do we have here? This is Horror Stories. Now, this isn't a typical monster magazine about monster movies. This is stories. The spiders are attacking our town. This is more like kind of like a pulp with different stories. I always like this ad. I'll make you a master of Chinese Kung Fu, the oriental art of instantaneous death that is applied with no bodily contact. It's probably passing gas. The Chinese, how else are you going to do it with no bodily contact? The Chinese method of attack and self-defense kept so secret that it has been handed down in China only from father to son because of its deadly power to disable or kill. Now these devastatingly brilliant secrets that require no physical strength or exertion, because they figure you have none if you're reading this magazine, that require are revealed to you in the English language by a kung fu master who dares to teach you at his risk. It says, who is this man? Behind the blindfold is the Honorable Master Kung Fu. That's not his real name, of course. If you were a Kung Fu expert, you'd recognize his real name at once, if we were to reveal it. But we cannot, for his Chinese fellow Kung Fu masters would punish him severely for revealing the deadly maneuvers he has sworn to keep secret. Do you think maybe it's Bruce Lee back behind that mask that's revealing the deadly secrets that he's not allowed to reveal? This is Death is Not Forever. I Was Raised from the Grave. Now look at that. That's Ray Dennis Steckler, isn't it? I think so. But yeah, incredibly strange creatures that stopped living and became mixed up zombies. Look, Shrieking Victim of the Vampire's Curse. That looks like Sonny Bono and Ringo Starr had a baby. That guy. I actually knew someone in high school that looked exactly like that, and actually there was a guy named Paul that looked exactly like that. He was, every time we went to a bar called J.R. Bentley's, he was always there. It was actually a restaurant. We weren't going to a bar. It was a restaurant, but he was there at the bar portion of it. And he was there like, technically he was a college student, but he seemed to live at that place. Look at this, the howling demon who hungered for blood. See, it's not a typical Famous Monsters kind of monster magazine. Let's see what year it's from. It's obviously from the 60s. No, October 71. Let's see who made this. I don't recognize these names, but they may not be. Oh, it's Stanley Publications. Stanley. How about that? Horror stories. Make big money, operate heavy equipment. And here's your Mark Jewelers ad. And you can, of course, also make big money learning how to repair color television sets. Ooh, some of the ads in the back are not. Some of the ads in the back show that this is a magazine that, yeah, some of the ads in the back are not nice. Here's the secrets of the power dial. And you can get groovy movies, man. Just like Commander USA used to show you. He said, get rid of roaches forever with death to all. What does that say? That's hilarious. It's called Sure Kill. Sure Kill wipes out every roach in roach nest. Or it's such a hostile ad. You remember this Jack in the Box ad with Rodney O and Rippy? Holy smokes. Adventures in Witchcraft. Hillary Clinton's supposed to be a high-powered witch. You heard those stories? Be careful if you hear people, if you ever hear people end a YouTube video and say, okay guys, blessed be, that means they're a witch or a warlock. That's a pagan thing, blessed be, just so you know. Some of you might be naive. Those people you need to stay away from. This is the adaptation of Alien, Archie Goodwin and Walter Simonson. This was put out by Heavy Metal. And they did a few movie adaptations, and this is their adaptation of Alien, which is a pretty... well, let's see how they do the chest burster scene. It's when they did the movie adaptation of 1941, they went insane with that. Oh no, the dog's barking. Hold on. Why are you barking? What is the deal? What is going on? Oh, man. Drew, cool it. My wife does a job from home. She's on the phone making calls. She hates the job. She has to do these political surveys, and some of them are from uh, horrible, the enemy. Trying. So anyway, it's got to be quiet. So I was in my comic book room with the door closed, trying to be quiet so that it doesn't. Because if there's noise in the background, like Drew barking, that could get her a warning from her boss because they're almost always listening in to the calls, and that could even get her fired, and that would be devastating because we're having a lot of financial problems. And so anyway, I had to run and scramble because the dog started barking at who knows what, and now yeah, so the dog was barking. So now she's not barking, but so anyway, that's why I was scrambling. So how about that? Okay, I was recording some 1950s and 60s horror movie instrumentals. Let's see, what is this that I'm recording? It's, and I left my glasses upstairs. I can't see a gosh darn thing in the mad scramble. It's something that I don't want to record right now, but I'm sure it's just wonderful. It's various music from 60s and 70s from Japan. And it's great, but it doesn't go with the theme of the mixtape I was making here. I call it a mixtape because that's what we've always called them, but in reality, it's a mixed disc. And I'm also waiting for David Wilcock to come on here in a little bit. So anyway, I'll be uploading this show to YouTube and also to Rumble. Um, I've been trying to put my canned shows up on Rumble, which is a more of a free speech platform and less communist than YouTube. Um, okay. Well, let's just see if David Wilcox started. Maybe he's about to start. Maybe I should just stop this disc. Anyway, I can't see, man. I think it's this damn phone that's doing it to my eyes. Um, my wife says I've got this little plastic clear thing that's a screen protector that I had on this phone, and we removed it, and then we got to put it back on there. And I've been looking at the phone, and I guess it's the blue light. Who knows what's coming through this phone that's freaking up my eyes. Um, I hate living in 2024, although it's cool to be able to make a show and put it up and have, a couple of dozen people watch it. I kind of miss the 1970s, like we were talking about, where, if you want to make a show, you get out your audio cassette recorder and a cassette and just record. And then, okay, what the frick? Sorry, starting to get in a bad mood here. David Wilcock. I think he's on vacation, so this may be a canned show that he's putting up live. Says upcoming. I got to get up close to the TV to read it, though, because why were you barking, Drew? What was going on? What was making you bark? Oh, man. If I could just get back into the comic book room without the dog barking. 313 people are watching. Oh, it starts in 8 minutes. I might as well just hang out and start recording it. I'm sure there's some stuff I can show you down here, But I think I got to babysit the dog so she doesn't have another bark attack. And I'll just show you stuff around here. There's stuff I'm sure that will entertain you. Um, in fact, there's a box right here, but I think I've shown you everything in it. Um, I don't know. Let's go in this room here. Maybe I can entertain you here. Oh, let's see what's in here. Over here in this. Anything of interest? What was this character from? Was it? This wasn't from The Tick. Was this from Earthworm Jim? I mean, I bought this action figure because I thought it was really cool, but I just don't remember what. It's from the 90s. I just don't remember what it's from. Um, I'm just looking for entertainment that might, you know. Oh, let me switch the discs here. Alright, so I'll put on here that this is music, but it's still an ongoing project. Okay, what am I doing? Okay, well, I just gotta wait for him to go live, and I'll press record. Then I'll probably go upstairs and turn off the lights and upstairs. Okay, well, let's look around down here. This was done by Lance Laurie, and I have more than a few paintings by him, Lance Laurie. He's a great artist, and I used to get his stuff on eBay, and yeah, Lance Laurie. Here's old John Carter of Mars and Deja Thoris, and there's a Banth, not a Bantha. George Lucas took a lot of terminology from the Edgar Rice Burroughs books. Banth was a Martian lion. In the Star Wars movies, a Bantha was an elephant, that kind of elephant, woolly mammoth looking creature from the planet Tatooine. You ever had hillbilly bread? I haven't either, but you know, it's colossal. And I don't know where I got this Freddy Krueger yo-yo, but I have it. And you don't. No, you probably do. Everyone's got that. Um, it's a reproduction of, I mean, can you imagine living in a time period where that was a billboard along the highway? That's what that originally was. That's a smaller scale version of it this year. There's a radio DJ in Dallas, and I can't remember his name right now, but he sells reproductions of 1950s, 40. Hell, he sells reproductions of 1930s posters that would cost as much as a house. He has this huge collection, and somehow he makes these reproductions of them, and that's his sideline business, other than being an oldies channel DJ. I just can't think of his name right now because I can barely think of my own name. So anyway, this setup in here, this used to be an open porch in the house, but it was enclosed, and and in fact, it was a porch that went all the way around the house, you know. And now I made this into like a little general store. This is my idea of what a general store would be, or you could say it's the gift shop here in the Hotel Orloff. So it just kind of reflects my interest, you know. So everything that's wonderful in life is here. Oh my gosh, what is this? What is this here? What is this? Oh, this is Catwoman's whip. Where is Catwoman? I think Catwoman's in the Batman room. She needs to be reunited with her whip. I don't know why her whip is in there. Yeah, I call this the Batman room, as opposed to the bathroom, which is over there. This is the Bat room. See? Okay. As I recall, there she is down there. Her spine broke, or her basically there's some kind of rubber band mechanism. I have to have her sit down because she won't stand up anymore. Anyway, this is your whip again, Catwoman. You can have your whip back even though you're paralyzed. So here's another Catwoman that does have her whip, like a Barbie Catwoman. Yeah, this is like a toy room, you know. So that's what's going on in here, man. You got to have seen enough of that. Okay. Let's see if David Wilcock has started. Well, so we've reunited Catwoman with a whip. That's one thing. I got to talk quietly because the sound echoes up the stairs. So, biggest, greatest, cracked. We were talking about Cracked magazine yesterday. Here's another Catwoman with a whip. And yet another one. It's weird that they make toys for children. The woman has a whip. That's all right. All right. This is a painting by John A. Connor. Well, hey, wasn't that the same name as the guy in the Terminator, John Connor? I may be wrong, but this is like a 100-year-old painting. I like it. I think I just heard the dog go back upstairs. Oh, Myers. Oh, he says, "Is everything okay?" So for some reason I'm worried. Everything's. I'll tell him in a minute. So, he must have watched the live stream, and my wife was yelling at me from upstairs because apparently I'd gotten honey on the back of a chair, and she touched it, and she wasn't in a good mood. She's never in a good mood, and she's about to start her job shift because it's such a, just a horrible place to work. Is that? It sounds like a human being's walking upstairs, but I think that's Drew the dog. Okay. Okay. What's coming down? Oh, I can barely see. That's you. I thought it was Drew. What's up? I'm recording a show. Did you get in trouble with Drew barking?
I can.
Well, that's why I lured her down.
It hasn't happened yet, but that's one of the main things.
Yeah, so I'm gonna come up and turn off the lights.
I was in a survey, so
I know. Well, hopefully the person's a dog lover that was on.
whatever. It doesn't matter. The people listening are the ones that are.
I know. Well, I scrambled and.
It is the number one requirement of my job is a quiet environment.
Right. Well, I've got her downstairs. In fact, I'll put her on a leash.
Tightness in my chest because they just fired the new lady I love that was my new advocate. So.
All right. I will keep her downstairs. Let me get her on a leash, in fact.
Yeah, but my awesome lady that made everything better just got fired, so I'm totally upset.
Just now? You just heard?
Like 2 minutes ago, yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, that's what you're trying to... Oh, my gosh.
I got such a tightness in my chest, and that witch is there just waiting to get me.
Okay. I'll keep her downstairs.
Thank you.
Let me... Oh, while you're off, let me go up and turn off the lights while you're taking a break. Because otherwise she's going to follow me up and bark.
I'm going to walk right back in.
Okay, it will take me 1 second to open these doors.
This woman is of no value, and she is always there.
Okay.
Everyone else,
Well, I'm sure she's not going to watch this show, so I guess it's okay to say that. All right. Damn it. I'll get my glasses back. Drew, you cause a lot of trouble, but we love you. Okay, man. Can't be barking. We should change your name to Ellen Barkin. Come on, Drew. Oh my gosh. The excitement never ends here, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's waiting. He's got 1.2 thousand people waiting for him to start his show. When I start my show, I usually have 0 or 1 person waiting. That's a difference between a professional and an amateur like me. Okay, well, in the last episode, I just found this in the garage. I think it's a Scooby-Doo head that... Damn it. It's a Scooby-Doo head, man. I think that's what it is. This is, I think, the last... There we go. It's broken. That's why it was given to me free. But my mother-in-law really pecked it. She really knows how... I guess she was trying to keep it from being more broken. My gosh. Okay. So it's just a Scooby-Doo head, worthless from probably the Warner Brothers store, but I think my wife could maybe put makeup brushes in it or something. So I'll go over here. All right. Look at this picture. It's some women boxing on top of a rooftop in maybe the 20s or 30s. That's worthy of a frame. Don't start barking, man. Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Where do you look through this stupid thing? Anyway, I always find garage sales, these insane cameras. And I've got a whole display of radios upstairs, but I don't have a display of cameras, although I've got a bunch of them. Anyway, this kind of reminds me of the opening credits of the Spider-Man cartoon, giant camera. All right. Oh, we've been talking a lot about Battlestar Galactica lately. This is one of those Cylon Raiders. I didn't buy this when it came out. This was something a friend of mine was going to give away, and I said, well, I'll take it. Should have a little hatch there for the Cylon. But the thing about this is this is Battlestar Galactica's answer to the TIE fighter. And the Viper was their imitation of the X-Wing. But see here, there are little missiles there that, you see that missile, it won't shoot out because there was some problem with some kid that injured himself with a little projectile from one of these Battlestar Galactica or some other toy like it. And so they started making these where they won't shoot. I don't know. I don't know how to entertain you, man. I don't know. People don't ever tell me what they want to see. If there's something you want to see, tell me down in the chat. I'm just trying to get this to an hour, because if it's less than an hour, no one's going to watch it. That's what I've noticed from my intense study of how YouTube people function. But I don't care. I'm just going to end it. So happy trails, ladies and gentlemen.